Good morning, everyone. Welcome. My name is Menachem Creditor. It's my honor to serve as scholar in residence and rabbi for UJA Federation of New York. We bring you Torah and music, blessing and community. We've been doing so every weekday since March 18th, 2020. Today is October 10th, 2025. It has been a privilege to be with friends from all over the world, making new friends, seeing familiar names and faces on Instagram and on Facebook, sharing Torah and being part of the world and part of our people's history every step of every day, no matter what's going on. What a gift it has been to be together every weekday morning for 5.5 years for Torah every single day. There is certainly a lot to talk about today. It is day 735 since October 7th, and I wonder if Penny's about to post it, so I don't want to head her off, but it is broadcast 1403, as well as all of the other things that are true about today. Let's begin, friends, with a breath, a bracha. Let's learn some Torah. Let's go into a good day, a Shabbat, Shabbat Chol HaMoed, the Shabbat in the middle of Sukkot, with prayers, maybe with a little bit of hope. Here we go. Tomorrow, Deborah, is your 70th birthday. Happy birthday. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. Ay, la, la, la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו לעסוק בדברי תורה, לעסוק בדברי תורה, הפוך בה והפוך בה, לעסוק בדברי תורה. Today, la 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 la. Today, la 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 la. Friends, there are a number of things I'd love for us to share today. First of all, wow. I see my dear friend Neil is here. Neil, what you inspired yesterday, I'm going to share in just a moment. There is a tremendous amount of movement in the world today, maybe even toward, if not peace, then a little bit more calm, beginning with the return of the hostages, which, please God, will be happening very soon. This might be, the last morning broadcast where we wear these. I'm going to come back to that in a moment. This is Shabbat. We're going into Shabbat, and it's Shabbat Chol HaMoed, the Shabbat in the middle of Sukkot. And ritually, we read from Kohelet, from the book of Ecclesiastes. Kohelet is a very interesting book. It is the most human, I find, of all the books of the Torah. It isn't about some future vision where the world is perfect. And it isn't about undue suffering as its focus. It's about actually life can be unfair and life can be beautiful and nothing really lasts. And I remember reading this as a young person and saying to myself, well, that's not cheerful. Why am I reading that? Well, I'm not as young as I was. I'm not as old as, please God, one day I will be. But I did turn 50 this week. And my appreciation of the language of Kohelet has changed over the years. An appreciation that things don't last. Our lives are not forever. The situations we find ourselves in are not forever. The commitments that we make using the word eternal, one of those words for eternal, by the way, being Adonai, God's name, it's fascinating to think about what is eternal and what is not. All I know for certain, and perhaps this is what Kohelet is saying, is, oh, that's not us. Nothing lasts forever, even cold November rain. And that, you might say, is not good news, and it's not bad news, it's not news at all. It's just the way things are. So why do we read this in the middle of Sukkot? Why would we read Kohelet's notion that our lives are like a gust of wind, a blade of grass? What a thing to realize. What a thing to ritualize. What a thing to know. Why do we read that? Perhaps we read it because just like a sukkah, which, at least when I build it, it doesn't last. A sukkah is a temporary structure. The lulav and etrog that we hold in our hands are temporary items. The moment they are picked from the tree, they're not going to last. But if that's true, friends, if it's true that the beautiful sukkah, I'm looking out my window at it, and the lulav and etrog, just if you have one, just take a smell of that etrog. It's heaven. And even this body, if it is true that this is not going to last, then the things that we go through are also not going to last. Today is 735 since October 7th. And there will always be a number of days it has been since October 7th. But here's something I'd like us to consider. If you've seen, there's footage of the very famous fountain in Dizengoff Center in Tel Aviv that has been plastered with images of hostages and fallen soldiers. They're cleaning it up now. They're cleaning up the fountain in Dizengoff Square. And we are one people all over the world. What a thing to think about. Like Kohelet's message, nothing lasts forever, even the pain. Day 735. I can look back at all of our broadcasts, I can look at you and you can look at me, and we know we've been through this, and some of us very directly, and some of us through the precious connection of this broadcast. So let's take a moment. Let's take a moment and recognize that these 2 years, heavier than anything we could have ever imagined, are also not forever. And so one of the questions, friends, that my friend Neil and his beloved Danielle and my beloved Neshama and I spoke about yesterday was, what do we do with these? When, please God, we see the hostages home. What do we do? So I know that there will be many, many answers to this question. There's a lot of emotion around this question, but I am telling you that it is my prayer that this is the last broadcast that I will wear these and this. The type on the bracelet has even fallen off. What do we do with something? My beautiful friend and teacher, Rabbi Daphne Lazar Price in Israel right now, is writing a suggestion, make a big geniza. That has been a suggestion. And in fact, it's not so different from what I was thinking about too, burying them. There will be many responses from ritual leaders and artists. So I wrote something, I shared it on my own social media today. I wrote a prayer for burying, bring them home now, dog tags. And I really do know that that might not sit well with everybody, and it might not be what you think we need, but I do think we need something. I don't want this I want this to always be in front of my eyes. There will be museums that have them. There are hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of these created. When I first got mine 2 weeks after October 7th, it was in Jerusalem, where UJA's Center for Arts, a beautiful campus that became a place of mobilization for the entire nation. We made these. I got one of the first ones. This is it. And I was leaving the airport and the security guard didn't know what it was. That's how long ago that was. So what I'd like to do is recite now this prayer. I'm not reciting it as I'm about to do it. I'm reciting it to share with you those thoughts. Because as Kohelet teaches us, this precious message, this difficult, powerful, holy, precious message, nothing lasts forever. Please God, they're coming home. Here's a prayer for burying. Bring them home now, dog tags. Mikor HaChaim, source of all life. We stand today with trembling hearts, bearing these small pieces of metal, once cold, now warmed by years of tears and hope and holy sweat. For 2 years, these dog tags rested upon our hearts, carrying our brothers and sisters, our children and elders, whose faces we carried into every prayer, every dream, every moment of waiting. We wore them as shields of faith, as promises never to forget. Each clink and gleam was a heartbeat of Am Yisrael, a whispered, bring them home now. Now, as we return these amulets to the earth, we do not discard them, we lay them gently, as we would lay a loved one, trusting that memory is eternal, that love does not rust, that sanctity can dwell in metal and tears in time. Holy One, let this burial be a bridge, from pain to promise, from captivity to compassion, from symbol to action. May the ground receive these sacred tokens as we continue to carry their spirit in our souls. Every name, may every name engraved here shine in the heavens as a light that can never be extinguished. And may the world never need again such amulets, for all your children to be free, safe in their homes, whole in their hearts, together in peace. Amen. Friends, whatever you choose to do, I really do recommend that we take this moment. Take this moment. Recognize the moment. Maybe it's a blessing that nothing lasts forever. To see our beloveds home, please God, in the coming days, should be a change in us too. And so I bless us. I bless us to have a Shabbat of hope, of anticipation, of light, appreciating life now, life today. What a gift it is to have today. And please God, in just a few more todays, we will hold our beloveds once more. Their families will hold them once more. May we be blessed with that reality, uninterrupted. And may we never take it for granted. Join me. Let's send our hearts to the east. Kol hod balevav pnima nefesh Yehudi homia ulfatei mizrach kadima ayin letzion tzofia od lo avda tikvateinu התקווה בת שנות 2000, להיות עם חופשי בארצנו, ארץ ציון וירושלים. להיות עם חופשי בארצנו, ארץ ציון וירושלים. Bring them home now. Am Yisrael Chai. Shabbat Shalom, friends. Chag Sameach. See you tomorrow. Not tomorrow. See you Monday. May it be a beautiful day we share.